I care too much what others think of me. On the Fuck It weeks that we run at the Hill That Breathes, this is one of the most common things that people want to say fuck it to. Most of us are naturally very aware that it's the perception of what other people think of us that holds us back from doing things that we'd really like to do, that holds us back from being really free. The fear of people criticising us, judging us, telling us what they think. In fact, about 5 or 6 years ago, you'll know this if you've read my book, I crashed into a pretty deep depression just for a couple of weeks. And one of the main things that happened during that time was that I really, just for a few days, didn't care what anybody thought of me. I was even sobbing like a baby on an underground tube train. And even though I was depressed at that time, it gave me a great sense of freedom and liberation. That for the first time in my life, when I'd always bothered about what people thought about me, really concerned about how people would respond if I did something, for the first time in my life I really didn't care, and it was amazingly liberating. And since then it's not been as deep, but I've had that sensation. I care less what other people think about me. In the end I said fuck it to what people thought of me, and it was incredibly liberating. So the trick is to try and care less what others do think of you. It will allow you a lot more freedom to do what you want in your life. And here's something to look at. The truth is that when people do think about what we're up to, when people do respond to us, when people do offer us their advice, they're very rarely actually talking about us, especially if we're talking about things where we're maybe suggesting that we should leave our job or do something exciting. They're usually talking about themselves. They're usually expressing their own fears. They're usually talking from the prison that they're in and are scared by the sense of liberation that we offer them. So when you decide to do what you want to do, really try and cut out the voices in your own head from what you've heard from what other people will think of you, but also what people actually say. So from now on, whenever you do get that feeling that you can't do something because you're scared of what other people will think of you, just say fuck it and do it. So the trick is to really care less what others think of you. Try in whatever way you can to do what you fancy doing and block out those voices. Even those voices in your head, we tend to internalise these voices. But if people do start to criticise you, if people do say things, just cut it out. They're only talking about themselves. They're not being personal about you. They're only expressing their own fears. Just cut it out, cut out those voices and say fuck it to what they think of you. You'll find immense liberation. And in the end, you'll spread that liberation to anybody else. And in the end, other people will start wearing their pants in busy streets too. So go on, I invite you, say fuck it to what others think of you and watch your freedom come pouring in. Thank you.